Hey dudes and dudettes, this is another day, and I'm just here alone eating my pizza. Actually have this, you know what? I thought I'd ordered like the normal like circle-y pizza, but I got the panormous pizza, which is like the squared one, and it's kind of like when you're in high school and you get those squared pizzas. Well, whatever, it tastes the same. It's all good. But anyway, and the best part is the garlic. Beautiful. And then I have the cherry coke. It's diet. Not like it's gonna make me thinner. Anyway, so yeah, right now my husband is being interviewed. He had like 2 interviews, and I feel bad because I know how it is in interviews. You go to an interview and you just like, oh hi, I'm here to be interviewed, and they're like, oh okay, well put your name under the list, and there's like 200 people who already wrote their name under that list. You're like, how many positions is it? Oh, just 1. And then you're like, is everybody else who's sitting here for that position? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh great. Then you sit down and they make you take a test that lasts like 2 hours, and then in the end you figure out you failed the test because it's a stupid test and they try to confuse you, and it sucks. And then you go, and even if you pass it, you're gonna have to take like other like 5 exams, and then whatever. And then if it's like interviews that they interview you, like me for example, I hate interviews. I went through like so many interviews, which is this year? Yeah, no, last year. I was like 6 months jobless because I decided to quit from Macy's, which I don't regret because it was hell in there. But anyways, it's pressure. I hate pressure, stress, and people, you know, because a manager, she's supervised by another manager, and that manager pressures her, so she has to pressure us to do what we have to do. And because she wants her bonus, so she makes us like open credit cards and all this shit. I hate it. I don't want to, like, I hope I don't work in that stuff anymore. So I'm a secretary now, and it's easy, and I love it, so whatever. But anyways, I hate interviews because you just sit there. First of all, I suck in interviews because I don't talk much. I'll just sit there and just answer anything that is thrown at me. I don't be like, oh, so hi, and this, and haha, yeah, and so what's, like, I don't ask questions because they're just telling me everything that I need to know. So then when they sit there and they're like, oh, what brings you here to apply at the place? Like in your mind, you're like, oh, well, I passed by and I read hiring. Like, you wish you could just say that and just keep on going, but no, you'd be like, well, you have to lie. You actually have to read up the website before you go there, and just lie and be like, oh well, like for example, I applied at some like glass place, like decoration with glass and stuff like that. What decorative glass things, you know? And they're like, oh, so what do you know about this kind of glass? I just stood there like, it's glass? Like, what are you supposed to know? What is it, like shiny, different shiny? Does it contain anything special, chemical? I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to know? So then, whatever. And then sometimes people look at you like you're stupid, or like, did you just say that? And people just ask you questions and you just have to think, and because you're nervous, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel bad for him. But anyway, so yeah, I finally got a job and I don't have to deal with stupid interviews. I didn't even get interviewed for the job that I have now, you know, so it's ridiculous. She probably doesn't even know how old I am or if I have my freaking high school diploma or anything. But anyway, so what is one thing you hate about interviews? I know I hate when people look at me and look at you like, oh, you're stupid, you know what I mean? One time, actually, my first job was Macy's, and when I was being interviewed, I was interviewed like 3 different times. The first guy was fine. The second one was cool. The third one, the lady, she was so stuck up. She looked at me. She's like, she was looking at my application. She's like, well, I see you have no experience Like she said it just like that. I was like, yeah, I don't. You're not gonna explain your life and for the reasons you just don't have experience. Plus, when you're I was 16 and 17, or they told me, oh, you're too young. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? So whatever. But yeah, I started working when I was 19. Yeah, and yeah, so she comes and say, well, I see you have no experience. When I find out later that she was an employee just like me, that's how she started off. You know what I mean? And she's a big ass manager and driving Hondas. You know what I mean? So I hate when managers have to feel like, they have to make themselves feel better, by putting someone else down. But anyway, leave a comment and peace.